Please do not resist.
Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam.
This is a beaver. You've probably heard of their dam building and tree cutting. Aside from humans, no other living animal does more to modify its environment for its own purposes. But when? How does the beaver and why does it leave? This is a beaver. So the beaver leaves and the rest of the dam gets built.
Thank you for giving a damn. We have taken our first step toward being the damn dominant top apex predator beaver that we could possibly be, being the top character, the top player in this wonderful game.
How does the beaver and why does it leave?
Thank you for giving a damn. Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam. Let me just get our music going. There we go. Welcome to our wonderful Valentine's Day stream, where we're going to talk about some of my worst dating stories to maybe cheer you guys up and have a damn good time while doing it. Hey Cactus, welcome. Pope Pineapples, good to see you. Havoc, welcome. It's Tornado, good to see you, my friend. Welcome each and every one of you. We're gonna play some Territory War in the background because I did not have time. I literally have not had time to like sit down and play my accounts like at all. In the last 24 hours, I've been super busy. All I've played has just been in the background while doing other things. So we need to get at least a certain amount of banners for both of our accounts, otherwise we don't get rewards. On top of that, my main account guild is probably going to be pretty upset at me if I don't like at least get like a solid of like 200 banners. So we're going to have to try hard on our main account and see if we can't get through a lot. So out of curiosity, are the other stories going to be first time reactions? The answer is yes. I haven't really looked at them, Pope. I've only gotten a couple, but yeah, if you have a terrible story that you want told today and want to be anonymous or anything like that, feel free to DM me and you can send them to my inbox so that way I can go through them and read them off on stream. May I ask what you plan on playing on for the member stream later so I know whether to set up my Xbox or PC? It's going to be Town of Salem Havoc is what we're playing. Town of Salem 2. It's free on Steam from what I understand. Fair enough, Pope. Yes, Town of Salem 2 is the free one. That is the one we're going to do. This is not going well, guys. I thought I had the speed on them, but I forgot to account for the Omicron. I thought the Omicron only gave 25 speed. Does it give 30? That would be why. Okay, well, we can win some other battle, right, guys? I don't know. What do we want to face here? I don't think Keller and Beck can beat this without his Omicron. What are we doing here? Almost crushed myself under a bunch of steel shelves. Oh, dang, Heinrich, are you okay? Saw it start to lean and instinctively tried to hold it up, realized I couldn't, got out of the way. It's like when you, when you get so used to, like, catching things with your foot to, like, keep them from, like, breaking, and then you, like, drop a knife, and you have to, like, catch yourself trying not to shiv yourself in the foot. Vader lead looks doable? Okay, I trust you. Hey, Trey, how you doing, my friend? The answer is yes. This was doable. How was your date? It was fine. I mean, it was a first date, so like it wasn't anything crazy or anything. First date on Valentine's Day is kind of weird, but it's the only time that she had open that I also had open, so. Hey, Cornflake, welcome, my friend. How you doing? Okay, we need 3 wins to be able to do this, correct? I just closed my eyes and accept my fate at that point. Wild. Yeah, just Nisa. If it's gear 12 or higher, or gear 12 or below, my solo Nisa can take down even the Omicron version of Geos with that Datacron. It's pretty great. Okay, we need one more dub. We have like at least one more good team that we can use here. The answer is the question is, what's that one more good team? Oh, I'm missing you. I don't know if this is gonna win. Let's just... Where is she? You... where's Rebel Fighters? With you... you, you. Hey, Con Warlock, welcome, welcome. That was not nearly as much damage as I was hoping right there. Like, I thought that Relic Delta would do a lot more. Like, I was going to one-tap the Ninth Sister, not that I was going to sit here and do nothing to it. Like, what was that, Drogon? You were a Relic 7 Drogon. Like, what are you doing, dude? Thank you. That's much better. What was? Did you guys see the 4 damage that we just dealt? What? Well, it sounds like we'll go for you last. Let's get Second Sister because she does some solid damage. There's 4 damage again. What's happening? I'm so confused. Still better than 3 damage, I guess. There was 6 damage. We're going up. Okay. So we're to stream 2 days in a row. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while since we've done 2 streams in a row. Isn't this 3rd stream in a row? Because we streamed Thursday, didn't we? We streamed Thursday, Friday, and now Saturday. So this is our 3rd stream day in a row. Dang, dude. That's what almost crushed you? Well, I'm glad you're alive. Okay. I'm assuming whatever that was taken care of. Okay. I swear I see that sometimes with other teams. Wedge doesn't have ED, he's just not performing properly. Hey, oh gosh. Dean. Goodness gracious, it takes me a second. Hey Dean, how you doing, my friend? Okay, I think that's enough banners for us on offense for this account. I'll be down here somewhere. 58, you need 50 for... Yep, okay, we're good. It stood perfectly until I tried to move it, then it was like, just fell off the factory. Love it. You, and I don't know, you. Have fun. How does one get Dean from that name? It is not me getting Dean from that name. It's me going, oh, he's been in my stream before. It's one of the characters from Supernatural. Is it Sam? No, it's Dean. And then going, oh yeah, it's Dean. And then going, oh, hi, Dean. You guys are kind of a pain, you know that? Yes, there are characters besides Sam and Dean, but honestly, those are the only two that I remember the names of in that show. It has been 9 years since I last watched Supernatural, and I only watched the first 5 seasons, and I binge watched them in like the course of like a month. And so my memory of that show is very hazy. So. Merciless Zeta? No, I don't have the Merciless Zeta. Someone wasn't on Tumblr during 2013 then? No, I actually never really went on Tumblr. That was one that missed me. In 2013, I was on iFunny almost constantly. I seem to recall that there was an angel. There was at least 2 angels. I think Gabriel showed up at one point, and I think I remember Castiel being an angel. But I would have never remembered the name Castiel unless you mentioned it in chat, Con Warlock. It was interesting enough as a show, and like a fun like couple season like episodic show. But then as they started to realize that they couldn't be an episodic show because you can't keep that going for a million seasons, it's the same reason that, like, you know, with Andor was originally going to be a buddy cop show where it's Cassian and K2 going on adventures was the original pitch for the show. And Tony Gilroy's like, don't do it. Please don't. It's gonna be terrible. It's literally you're saying you were greenlit for 5 seasons. You can't do 5 seasons of a buddy cop show like that. It just doesn't work. And it's just the problem of you're gonna run into there's nothing else to do. You've done all of it already, and you're just kind of sitting there doing the same thing over and over again. And so they ran into that problem and then started trying to like make a story out of everything, and the story just wasn't as good as I was hoping. And there's a lot of like I don't know, things don't feel like the consequences really matter because this happens, but then that happening is nullified by the fact that we did this, and like it just kind of keeps, it's very circular of just like, oh my gosh, we'll never come back from this. Oh, we're coming back from this. Like I don't know. John is Sam and Dean's father. Yeah, I mean, I remember his face. Does that count? I think that should count. I remember what the dad looks like. I just don't like the premise. Modern day Holy Knights just doesn't interest me. If anything, it makes you dislike it more because it's like, if God was actually good, we wouldn't have this world. Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't. If you're Christian, it doesn't have the best. Oh, that was rude. Couldn't kill anyone else. It definitely doesn't have the best view of God, for sure. The guy Hondo because bases Cassian would become the guy Hondo bases his stories off of if he had to continue for 5 seasons. Yeah. Oh gosh. Do we even have enough for an era upgrade yet? Nope. We're at 50 of 100. Woo woo. Eventually we'll be able to level up our characters. Okay, we need to do this next. We're working on... No, Scout Trooper's done. Who are we working on now? R2-D2. Oh yeah, Coliseum, the most boring part of this game. There we go. Agent Milton coming in with the Prime sub. Thank you so much, my friend.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Everything feels so slow waiting for... My brain's saying Emperor Palpatine. What is EP? Is it worth it to buy era currency? Are you saying episode pass? Goodness gracious, you can't use something that's a pre-established acronym in this game. That's not okay. How dare you? Is it worth buying the currency? I don't know. Up to you. Depends on how much you prioritize. I'm not doing it on my main account. I just don't care. Maybe you care, but I just don't right now. But I was not interested in the season at all. I was constantly top 50-ish last era, and now I have level 7, whatever her name is. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not interested in really pushing. I love these characters, and I'm going to take them all to 7 stars. I don't care to do Coliseum, so. I think so too, Heinricher, but I can't say by personal experience. Lightspeed token quests. I don't know. Are we supposed to have one right now? I honestly have not been actually paying attention to the things, but I'm pretty sure we were supposed to get one in the last couple of days. Or is it supposed to be tonight? They moved it back a week? I feel like I should have the information from this post memorized at this point with how much I refer back to it. 210. Are they moving back all of them then, or are we going to get 2 weeks where we get a whole bunch of Lightspeed tokens? I cannot actually wait for these Lightspeed tokens. There's so much here that I really, really want. Admiral Akbar is going to be huge. Commander Luke Skywalker is going to be huge. And then Droid is going to be huge. And then, of course, I mean, we have a Gear 12 Stormtrooper Luke, so we might as well take advantage of him, you know? Exactly, Heinrich. I mean, you look at my account, right? Like, I mean, we won't even go there. We'll just go to the era shipments. If we just look at what I have left. Oh, this is not my account. This is my free-to-play account. Hold on. I guess we will go to my account. 529659214. Like, we look at what I can bring up. Trench is not able to be brought up. I'm a Gundai, sure, I guess. Ewok Scout, IG-86, Ugnaught, Jedi Knight Guardian. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon can't be used. Zuckuss can't be used. Omega, sure, I guess. Hoth Rebel Soldier. Young Han Solo, sure, I guess. Brutus can't be used. Vane can't be used. Captain Silvo can't be used. Hunter can't be used. Crosshair can't be used. Wrecker can't be used. Although they're close. So it might be worth me grabbing some Lightspeed tokens for them just to make it so I don't have to take them up. Since they're starting to become legacy now. Quiggled can't be used. Batcher can't be used. Omega Fugitive can't be used. Droid Daka, sure, I guess. Forlom can't be used. Stormtrooper Han, I'm already getting a Gear 13 token. So, like, there's not much there for me to do. Yeah, Akbar for my free-to-play. Yeah, Akbar is going to be super helpful with my home one. So that way my home one's actually fast. Because right now my home one is kind of due to garbage pants. Like, it's enough to keep me in the top 50 at least. Also, we absolutely dunked on our opponent here. He beat all of our teams, but we dunked on him for banners. How are you top 30 with home one? It's Tornado. I feel like there's just like some teams that you just need to like go through and learn their kits. Because like you're adamant that SLKR is like a subpar character. And like you're asking like, oh, how are you in the top 50 with home one? Home one with B-Wing is one of the best fleets in the game right now. You get a bonus turn. You call out the B-Wing. You get another bonus turn. And then you get ultimate immediately. And the great part of this is we're into another ultimate already. And done. Fantastic fleet. Fantastic. Hey, look, it's Warlock. Hi, Con Warlock. How you doing? Hey, Devin. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, my friend. Hey, Civ. Welcome, welcome, my friend. How you doing? I'm giving you characters 4 stars. I'm finally pushing getting #1 fleets every day for quantity. Very nice. Fleet and squad are legit the same. Fleets just have less variables. Oh, and the graphics. I'll be nice and not talk about mod effects on ships. What changed? The B-Wing. The B-Wing is what changed, Devin. Ships. If the allied capital ship is home 1, there are no deployed scoundrel allies. Grant home 1 a bonus turn, and their cooldowns are reset, excluding call reinforcement. And then, is it on home 1 that you have it now? Yeah, it's on home 1. There are no deployed scoundrel allies, so no, no Hans Millennium Falcon and no Outrider in the opening lineup. And a Rebel B-Wing is an ally in the reinforcements. Home 1 gets a bonus turn at the start of the battle with only call reinforcements. And mod Cal cannons available for use. Reduce cooldown of call reinforcements by 1. And then on the B-Wing, if you look at its unique, whenever the Rebel B-Wing attacks out of turn, reduce all cooldowns on home 1, excluding call reinforcement, by 1. So you can essentially get back-to-back ultimates. But my home 1 isn't fast enough to get back-to-back ultimates right now because I have like a Gear 7 Akbar. So once we get the Lightspeed token, we'll be able to do the back-to-back ultimates. Yeah, it's absolutely wild, Devin. It's now one of the fleets that holds the most for me on my defense and my main account, and it's my go-to fleet on my free-to-play account. Like, I mean, you saw the levels of, here, we'll go over here so you can see it. Like, I'm using 5-star and 6-star characters here. I'm using a Gear 12 and a 5-star on my Raven's Claw. The only one that's like really relict is the B-Wing itself. That's basically it, so. We'll be going for the Andor characters. I'm going to get them to 5 stars That's as far as I'm willing to take him right now. Is Home One better than Profundity? I think Profundity is better on offense nowadays. I do think Home One is better on defense right now. Like, Profundity is kind of like a one-stop shop to beat every single fleet in the game on offense, but on defense, its counters are still there that were there before the Rogue One came around. It just stopped Malevolence, basically. And it kind of opened up a couple other counters as well, but they're wonky counters that don't really matter as much. So, but yeah, I'm going to get the Andor characters to 5-star on my main account, and that's about it. So that's Gear 13 is essentially what I'm getting, so I don't ever have to Gear 13 another character. Fair enough, GC Devil. Fair enough. I hardly play fleets. You're missing out, dude. Fleets are huge. Just being able to get this 50 crystals a day, like, what is that? 1,500 crystals a month that I'm getting for free, which is the equivalent of what, like $6 or $7? No, sorry, $10. So I'm getting $10 of crystals a month for free. And if I fight my way up and get even higher, then I'm getting $20 of crystals. If I'm in the number 1 slot, I'm getting, what, $60 of crystals? Something like that, $50, somewhere in there. Like, yeah, fleets are so good. Yeah, I'm taking them to 5-star so I can have them to a decent degree, but mostly for the Kyber Lightspeed tokens. Helps to pad the blow of still having almost all the conquest tunes to gear along with all the future ones in their teams day one. Yeah, that's fair, Grax. I think the Lightspeed tokens are a big reason why anyone would still go for new characters up to at least 5 stars. Executive Leader, I can't counter my shard mates currently. They have Profundity and Leviathan. Can I counter with Home One? You can beat Executor. You can technically beat Profundity with Home One, but it's a little weird with the lineup. But for sure you can beat Executor with Home One. Leviathan and Profundity, that's more of like a if you have a Galactic Republic fleet. Do we know when the 10th anniversary characters will be farmable? They said the first week they'll put them in shipments, and then every 2 weeks after that they'll drop a new one to be farmable, if I understand correctly. And that reinforcement abilities max. Oh yeah, I spent everything that I had on getting the stuff that I need to be able to make sure, like, I got like almost no reinforcement abilities leveled up for these ships. I have Rebel B-Wing and I have Phantom done. Every other ship is at level 1 for their reinforcement abilities because I prioritize my reinforcement abilities for ones that I'm going to be actively using. Same thing with Home 1. I immediately got this up first before doing anything else. Then got Master's Plan next because you want that 100% turn leader. And now I'm working on Seize the Advantage because these two are just extra damage. That's all they're doing. And we're really caring about the assists from these, not the actual damage, because this ship is not about damage. It's about calling to assist, increasing offense, and giving bonus turns. This is finished my Leviathan Rex, so I'm debating how I'm going to do my layout. Right now, exactly preferring attacking with Leviathan or my defenses. Okay. Yeah, Leviathan's just so-so at low stars, but the good news is one of the best counters for low star Leviathan was Negotiator, and with the most recent buff for the Leviathan, it made it so that way the Negotiator counter is no longer viable. So. But yeah, you should be able to counter Profundity and Leviathan with Actually, hold on. With Profundity, now that the Rogue One exists, I actually don't know what the counter is. Does anyone know? Is it just bring out a TIE bomber? Is that what it is? Like, what's the counter for Profundity nowadays with an Executor? I haven't done that in 3 to 5 business years. What does my R2 need? Dude, it is so rough trying to get these characters done, dude. I'm just so out of relic materials at all times. Ugh. Because I still have to finish this character, Relic 8, and then I have CLS and Chupio coming in Lightspeed tokens next week, or the week after. And that's another 2 Relic 7s that I gotta do. And then I'm done with all of my high relics, and it's just low relics for the rest of Leia. So. Have they said when the assault battles will be with the era characters? Assault battles? Oh, you're talking about the conquest battles. They said it was going to be in the off week, didn't they? So we won't see them until next week. Hey Civ, hold on. Right here. Starting in March 10th, you get a Boba Fett Lightspeed token for finishing this set of challenges. You get a Bosk Lightspeed token. So this won't be relic levels, but this will be Gear 13 with all of their Zetas. And then you also get an IG-88 and a Dengar Lightspeed token, and a free Bounty Hunter Lightspeed token for any Bounty Hunter you want to throw it on. So most of your Bounty Hunters that you need relicked for things are going to be given to you anyway. So I would focus on the TIE Pilot first and leave this. And if you haven't already, I mean, I wouldn't suggest throwing it on TIE Pilot, but you do have an Empire Lightspeed token if you haven't used it already right here. So... what do you think the solution to Galactic Challenge Oming will be? I'm hoping nothing. And there's a very specific reason why I'm hoping for nothing. The reason that I'm hoping that they don't do anything for Galactic Challenge Omicrons is because I think it's hilarious that Egnards has the Galactic Challenge Omicron for the Gungans, and that I forced him to put it on because I beat him in trivia. I think that's hilarious, and I want him to be getting 0 use out of it. So... Can you low ever video where you show different comps that can full auto 3 stars their respective assault battles? Yeah, it might be a solid one. I'm actually looking into, with this account, going and grabbing my my Mandos and just taking them up to Gear 12 with Imperial Super Commando and Gar Saxon, because I can take them up to Gear 12 without having to, like, you know, 7-star them at all. And then that means that and this guy's just a Cantina battle, yeah. And then I can just throw them into the one that's going on right now. Endor Escalation? No, Forest Moon, that's what it's called. This Forest Moon assault battle, and just let them go through and beat this one for me. Yeah, he has full Relic 10 Gungans. Yeah, I would never do anything low effort. What are you talking about? Like Deadpool says, maximum effort. I'm not sitting here on a Valentine's Day hanging out with you guys and not really providing any value besides I'm going to tell you traumatic stories from my past. What are you talking about? Now then, give me the gossip. Okay. So where should we start with my terrible dating stories? You know, I feel like the best place to start is from the beginning. The first date I ever went on. So there was, I was a nerd and not a very well-adjusted nerd growing up. And so I was really nervous around women for obvious reasons. Women are the most terrifying creatures on this earth. Beautiful, but terrifying. Not so much nowadays, though. I've overcome that fear. But they, I was in middle school, and there was this girl that I had a crush on. And it continued through high school, and I became friends with her. And I didn't know how to move forward. As soon as I got to the point where I had enough balls to actually move forward and ask her out, I proceeded to ask her out. And I'm like, this is going to go great, because she said yes. That's fantastic. We can go out with this beautiful woman. And, we go on a date, and she is on her phone the entire time. And I find out, because she's like acting like really standoffish and everything. And I find out that she is dating someone currently, and for some reason had said yes to me asking her out. And granted, we're 16, I think, at the time, maybe 16, was my first time going on a date. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and being like, okay, who's this guy? Who could she possibly be dating, right? You've heard of, like, oh, he goes to another school? It's kind of like that. Except the dude's 26. And not in school. And lives 45 minutes away, and she drives once a week to go hang out with him on the weekends. So I spent my entire first date being like, why am I here? What am I doing here? Like, what? Why did she say yes? Why are we sitting here and eating dinner together? Like, yeah, so that, good times, good start to my dating life throughout my life, I gotta say. And I was a little too young to understand foreshadowing. When God decides to do a little bit of foreshadowing, I didn't catch on. Are you 4 million on the free play yet? No, I am not. 1.69, very nice. 1.69 mil. But we're bloating as fast as we can, and I assume by the end of the Lightspeed tokens we'll be at 4 million, I think. Was her BF on the island? Like, WTF? What do you... Okay, I feel like you're referencing something that I actually don't know. Cactus. Oh, okay, that island. Got it. Okay, now I'm following. Yeah. So that was my first time going on a date. I did a little bit of stuff throughout high school, nothing serious, just a little bit of stuff here and there. And then I got out of high school and I was in a new town entirely. And I was like, you know what? I don't have enough dating experience. I want to continue to date, get used to things, and like get used to being around women and get better at talking to women. So I'm just going to go to this singles event and I'm going to ask out the first girl that I see. And so I go to this singles event and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be great. And I am not like a socially, like, I'm not like a social, I live by a theory of it's only awkward if you make it awkward. I firmly believe that it's only awkward if one of you two makes it awkward. Otherwise, if you just keep rolling with it, it will never become awkward. And so I live by that fact, and I will always roll with it. It's only awkward if you're making it awkward, because I'm always going to just be like, okay, yeah, sure, let's go with it. You know, you're a little weird. I can deal with that, you know? So, you know, I just go up to this girl and I'm like, hi, and start talking to her. And I was like, you want to go on a date? And this one has been told on the channel a couple times. Actually, I think I've only told it once. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe this is only the second time that I've told this story. But I go on this date, and I am trying so hard to be funny, because I am a funny guy and I like jokes. And so I will always make jokes, no matter what the scenario is, even though sometimes they can be inappropriate. So I go on this date. We're out at dinner. We're talking. I'm trying to get to know this girl, and we start getting onto the topic of like things that we enjoy to do. And she's like, I don't know, I don't do a lot. I kind of just, you know, go to school and that's about it. Right now, I don't really do anything else. I'm like, okay, yeah, I just like to hang around with my friends. I was like, oh, okay, what do you do with your friends? Oh, I don't know, just whatever they like to do. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, okay, what kind of TV shows do you like then? Besides Grey's Anatomy, of course, because, like, you know, at the time, every white girl's only show they'd watch was Grey's Anatomy. And so, you know, making the joke, going for it. And she goes, actually, the only one that I've ever really watched is Grey's Anatomy. I'm, like, rewatching it for the 5th time. I'm like, oh, no. I put my foot in my mouth on that one. But, like, also, only Grey's Anatomy? Really? Really? And then I'm like, okay, what movies do you like besides The Notebook, of course? Because once again, you know, cliche. And she goes, oh, you know, I mean, The Notebook's my favorite movie. I watch it all the time. I swear, I feel like I watch it every week. I'm like, oh my gosh. Not only am I bombing this date, I feel like, but also I'm losing my mind because, like, what do you mean? You have no interests. You are just hanging around your friends and doing whatever they're doing. And then on top of that, you're just, you know, the cliches is just used. It's just that is you. And I'm like, okay, you're going to school. What, you're going to this school. You mentioned it when we were talking before and texting back and forth. So what made you choose that school? Oh, because it has 100% acceptance rate. Why did you need to have a 100% acceptance rate? Is it not like the dream school that you were going for? Or like what was stopping you from going to the school that you wanted if this is just like the one that would accept you? And she's like, oh, I got a 15 on the SAT or the ACT. And I'm like, 15 on the ACT. I was like, oh, well, have you tried like studying and going and retaking it? Because like you could probably up that score. She's like, oh no, that's after my my 3rd time taking it. I got a 15 and I studied for weeks in advance. I'm like, oh no. To put it into perspective, for those of you who are not familiar with U.S. testing systems, a 13 on the ACT is what you get if you answer all questions C. 17 is what my brother got, who is one of the most interesting people I know and slept through most of the tests. And I'm like, oh gosh. Okay. I kind of like just glaze over this. I'm like, I'm not even going to interact with this. I don't even, okay, let's move on. Why, what are you going to school for? What are you going to school for? This is an easy softball question. You can tell me what your major is. We can talk about that. It'll give me something to talk about at least. Oh, I'm just going to college to find a husband. Oh, I'm glad you know that, Bobo. I'm glad you know that. Only weeks in advance? Dude, I didn't study on the ACT at all. I think I got a 27. I've never gone back to retake it. I probably should go study and retake it if I wanted to get into like a good college, but I didn't. I was just like, hey, I'll take my number and I'll go. She said that on a date. Yes, she said that on a date. I don't know, Grax. I genuinely don't know. I was afraid to ask questions for so much of this because like clarifying questions would make it feel more painful because it would become more apparent how much I didn't want to be around this person. She sounds like a keeper. Why did you marry her? I probably could have, like, with the with the things that she was saying, I could have probably got down on my knee right there and proposed, and she would have said yes. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what's a fun one that we haven't talked about? Okay, so this is probably the most embarrassing one for me. Because I've never talked about it and because I've like refused to talk about it in general, because it was so wildly uncomfortable of a time for me. Just in general, it was just so uncomfortable. Like, I live by that phrase, it's only awkward if you make it awkward. This is one of the few times that I couldn't live by that quote. It is one of the few times where I was like, nah, this is on you, and I am so not okay right now. Oh gosh. Run split screen in Battlefront 2 with date idea, trust. Okay. Oh gosh, actually sounds like a fire date, honestly. Okay, let's move over to our main account real quick. Just so we have something going. Even my guild, one of the questions we ask applicants is, what teams do you have for Order 66? Our latest applicant has no teams for Order 66, so listed all their teams instead. SLKR front and center. I sent you a DM of his SLKR. Oh! He got it yesterday and ran out of credits. That's gotta be the only reason that you... Even then, like, you're getting a GL, you should be saving up. Okay. 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 Gosh. This one, okay. So, let's give some context on how my dating life was going in college. So we're flashing forward to when I was in college, right? And we'll tell one that's been told a couple times on this channel, which is, so I lived in another state for a little bit, completely different area, and then I, moved to another state, and I went to college. While I was at college, one of the people from that state that I had been to that I'd barely interacted with them, like maybe once, maybe twice. I'm scrolling through, you know, Tinder, going through, doing the Tinder thing. And, you know, I am playing the odds here. I set up an entire week. Like, Beaver is a player, dude. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Beaver is a player. I set up an entire week because, like, I have a pizza dough recipe that makes 7 to 8 large pizzas. And it's delicious dough. And so I love making pizzas, and I really enjoy doing it. I used to work for a pizza shop when I was in high school, and so I was like, yeah, this is, I like doing this. But it's 7 to 8 large doughs. Like, how often are you going to make 7 to 8 large pizzas? And so I would do it for like big parties and that kind of thing, and like help people make their pizzas, so that way it would look all fancy and stuff and look like a restaurant pizza and that type of thing. And so I made this dough one time and had the crazy idea of, I'm going to I shouldn't say that word, the S word that you shouldn't say online about taking a permanent action with your life. Swipe. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase, but it's where you just go on Tinder and you just swipe on every single girl you see, and then you see what you get for matches. And in this college town, I managed to get a date every single day for a week. And so every single day I had a different girl over, and we'd make a pizza together every single day of the week. Gatekeep or not on the recipe. If you guys want the recipe, I'll drop it. We have a recipe section in the Discord. I'll drop the recipe. But yeah, so yes, exactly, Civ. You have heard this one, Trey. I think you have. Yeah. So what you said, and then swipe at the end. So it's where you just swipe on every single girl. So I get 7 dates, and all of them are actually pretty cute. And I'm like, okay, this worked out really well. And so I've got a different date every single day. I go 6 dates in a row, and I'm like, I'm doing good. I didn't really connect with any of them. Like none of them were like super interesting or anything like that, but all of them like loved the date, and they were all, you know, taking pictures of the pizza, and I was like, yeah, look what you did, isn't this so cool? All that kind of stuff. It was, you know, it was a damn good time. And then we got to date number 7. Beef's a pimp, it's official. Oh gosh. So date number 7 is a girl from that other state that I talked to her like maybe once, maybe twice. And then I saw her on Tinder, and I was like, oh, she's here? I didn't know she's going to this college. That's kind of wild. I've only met her like once or twice and like spoke to her in passing, but I remember her. And so like I swipe on her, she swipes on me, and turns out she doesn't remember me, but I remember her. So it was a little awkward at first, but, you know, push through the awkward. You know how it is. And then, sorry, both of my stepmom and my mom just texted me. He's a slut. So we pushed through that. She comes over, and like I'm expecting, you know, an hour, 2 hours max. You know, that's what's been all week of dates. It's, you know, we have a good time. We see if we connect, that kind of thing. This girl just keeps talking. She just keeps going, and none of it is positive. All of it is just making fun of my sense of style, making fun of the music that I was playing in the background while we were cooking. When my roommate walked in, because like the apartment's set up where it's like a living room and kitchen, and then 2 doorways to go into the bedrooms. And so like they walk in and then they go into their bedroom kind of thing. And so we're sitting there, and like we're eating pizza, and one of the roommates walks in, and they all loved my pizza, especially the breakfast pizza that I would make. It was just straight fire. Yes, breakfast pizza is fantastic. But anyways, ADHD, getting off topic. One of my roommates walks in and is like, how's the pizza? And she's just like, oh, I've had better. And I'm like, ouch, okay. What a wild thing to say on a date in front of the person that you're going out with. Spends 2 hours just basically bullying me, and then spends the next 2 hours talking about her sexual exploits, including friends of mine who were like in other relationships and stuff, and like did like one night stands with her and cheated on their relationships. And I'm like, dude, not only are you like making me go like, I would never be around you in general, but on top of that, you're making me go like, oh, I need to go talk to a couple of my buddies and get them to stop pulling stupid crap. Like, this is not good. And then and then at the end of this 4-hour period of this, she then goes, so when's our second date? I'll text you, okay? I'll text you. Never texted her again. But I was like, I'll text you. Ghosted her after that. She was married like 3 months later, then divorced like 6 months later, and then married again about 2 months after that. And then divorced again about a year from that point. And then I think she just got remarried maybe 6 months ago. So, slip inside. That's pretty good, Trey. Okay, sorry, let me catch up on chat really quick. It's not like you could scale down the portions, so the only solution was the 7 dates in a row. Okay, to be fair, like, the recipe makes 60 doughs. It makes 50 to 60 large doughs. It is a recipe that a restaurant that I worked at was using, that I then memorized the recipe because my manager got hungover too often while I was in high school. And so he would have me make the dough, which he was the only one that was supposed to be able to know the dough recipe and make it besides the owners, because it was a small town pizza place. And I learned it just because he kept coming to work hungover and needed me to use the mixer instead because it was too loud for him. And so it has 8 eggs in that recipe, and so I divided it by 1/8. And so I was doing the minimum amount of eggs, and I wasn't sure if like reducing the other ingredients but not the amount of eggs would affect anything about the taste. And I loved the taste of this dough and didn't want to change it. You know, I am not a baker. I am a guy who cooks, and I have learned very quickly that you cannot, like, everything in baking is math and following directions. You cannot do anything off the cuff of your sleeve, unlike cooking. And so, like, I don't know anything about baking, so I'm not going to touch bread with a 10-foot pole unless someone who's actually knows what they're doing tells me how I can make that recipe smaller, you know? Anyways, what music? It was just general music. Like, it wasn't even, like, it was my playlist of, like, stuff that people normally listen to. Like, because I have ADHD, I have listened to everything. What do they call it? Polyamorous. I listen to all kinds of music. You'll be listening to my playlist, and it's like Big Iron and like Cowboy in the Continental Suit by Marty Robbins, and then it jumps over to like Frankie Lane and like Frank Sinatra, and then it's like a comedy song by Bo Burnham, and then like a Star Wars soundtrack, How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack. Like, my playlist from high school just jumps genres constantly. But like, I curated this list as like currently popular songs that were just good background songs. And so like, it's just like, yeah, this is just, you know, random background stuff. That wasn't The Horrible Roommate. No, this was my I think this was my first semester. This was my first semester. Might have been my second. I think it was my third semester that I had the terrible roommate that you're referring to, Con Warlock. Yeah. He wasn't until either second or third semester. I think this was during my first semester in college. So you're saying she went to college to find a husband? No, I'm saying I was cursed in college that every girl that I dated was married within 6 months of me dating them, but to someone else. It turned out weird, but like also great. It's great if you start to enter early 70s classic rock with 3 guitars, 6 sound. Send it to me, Heinricher. I'm always down to try new songs. And now as a content creator, you're also cursed. Is that because like just, you know, like streamers and stuff never get married? Is that what you're referring to? Did I already do my dailies on this account? Yeah, okay, I did. The B files. Hopefully, you know, hopefully you guys are enjoying this, considering, you know, it's Valentine's Day today. Gosh, I am so sick of these datacrons. So freaking sick of the datacrons. No, because of the people quitting after they collab. Ah, okay. Dude, it's not like I was doing anything with these women and like going anywhere or doing anything with underage women for sure. Like that's nope. But yeah, I've it's been a running joke since I started playing D&D. For those who don't know, D&D stands for Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I am a nerd and I play Dungeons and Dragons. It's been a running joke that my life is all nat 20s and nat 1s. There is nothing in between. You know, oh, you're going to have a successful YouTube channel that pops up out of nowhere and all of a sudden you're going to have to learn how to, you know, make content and all that type of stuff. You're going to be great. You're going to explode so fast. That's awesome. You're never going to find love. Okay. You know, you're going to have the worst date of your life. Okay. You're going to go through 3 different cars in college when you can't afford it. Okay, but hey, you win a free Xbox Series X from Taco Bell. Okay. It's all nat 20s and nat 1s. That is the entirety of my life, is just good thing, bad thing. Good thing, bad thing. And they're wildly good or wildly bad. It is, there is no in between. Asteroid Mech, Matt. I think that's all off the top of my head, Pope. I don't know if there's anyone else that's quit that's been working with me. Wants to avoid doing that again at all costs, so they quit. Yeah, maybe Con Warlock. You can feed into my insecurities and my anxiety that way. That's true. Oh yeah, I wanted to see what my defense did. Speaking of Maul, was Maul a first battle or did he drop one? Oh dang. Maul didn't hold at all. Okay, so he dropped a battle. He dropped a battle. Okay, okay. Has he dropped a 3rd battle? No, he hasn't. So he can still win this. He can still win this. But you gotta make sure he doesn't drop more battles. Stay away from Scribe. Dude, me and Scribe are homies. We don't do things as much as I'd like to, but he's also busy and I'm also busy, so. And also, I don't drink, so, like, joining him on Fridays is kind of just weird. Like, I know he'd be down to have me on Fridays, but, like, I just think it's a little weird because I'm not. I don't drink. No, but I did do a collab with Arnold, to be fair, and Arnold is, like, he's not making as much content now, so maybe I'm the cause of Arnold starting to quiet quit, if you're calling it that. Oh, that was the wrong play, but that's okay. I just fed so much offense right there. You can drink apple juice. Hey, that was rude. So you birthed Arnold's kid after the collab, which forced them to make less content. Yes, exactly. That's my secret cap. I've always been Arnold's wife. Oh my gosh. Yeah, beat Stranger, but he got rezzed. Yeah, Healer Cron is pain. I hate the Barris Cron right now so much. Maybe a little bit more. Gosh dang it. Okay, so where were we, guys? I'm sorry, I'm getting real off topic here. Azori's crazy right now. She's got like 5 holds today. Heck yeah, that's what I like to hear, Jan. Needs a testing game mode. Took my SLKR squad to arena earlier to test different mods, but I didn't have the selection I wanted. Yeah. You don't auto Coliseum? I don't. I don't auto Coliseum. I do play through it once a day. What does the Barris Cron do? Oh, gosh. What doesn't it do? Start of their turn, healer allies inflict healing me on. You probably know this if we're talking about the Healer Cron, but basically, whenever an ally falls below 25% health for the first time, all allies recover 50% health and 100% protection. First time an ally is defeated, revive them. So each ally has a revive off of this, as well as whenever a healer is critically hit, recover 15% health and protection and grant heal over time to the weakest ally for 2 turns. Barris herself. First time Barris Offie is defeated if there's at least one other active ally. Revive all other defeated allies, and other allies recover 100% health and protection, gain 100% turn meter, and double their offense till the end of the battle. So right now, with my Barris, the way that I have it set up, because I'm a silly goose, which honestly, there might be a better way to run this, but I like being a silly goose and trying things out. My Barris doesn't have any mods on her, so that way they'll accidentally one-tap her with like a Rocks from Malicos, and then Ray will get 100% offense and murder everyone. I like to think it's a good strategy. I don't know if it is. Yeah, see, I don't care enough to do that, Jan. That's I did last season, but it's a good question. It's a good question, Mr. Tornado. Okay, so after that date with that girl, I stopped dating for a couple months, maybe a year. I don't remember. That was a while ago. Let's see that what was that? It would be 2019. So we're pulling back to the past, like what, 6 years, 7 years now. So, you know, I don't remember very well how long I took a break from dating. But flash forward, there's other dates that we can go into for sure, and we probably will today. But the one that I want to talk about, because this is the first time we've ever mentioned it on stream, we've never talked about this before, so, you know, we're going to have a damn good time talking about it for a hot second. It's probably the most embarrassing experience of my life. I mean, fair, Con Warlock, fair. So now, if I remember correctly, you did a date in a Jar Jar costume. Okay, so to be fair, I was supposed to wear the mask on my next date, was the agreement. And the problem is, I did not go on another date after I made that goal for about almost 2 years. Like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. So I completely forgot about it when I went on my first date in like 2 years, because like we had another experience 2 years ago where we started dating a girl and we started going out with her and she had kids, and I was a little I don't know how I feel about this. I might be down, but like I don't know how I feel about this. And the kids immediately started latching on to me and being like, looking up to me and that type of thing because they found out that I do YouTube, and it got really weird really fast. One of the kids was like 12, 13, and the other one was like 10, and then she had like a 6-month-old, and then I found out on the third date that her divorce wasn't finalized and she hadn't told me, and that she was still technically married, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Already this has been full of red flags, and like I've been worried, and I was mostly doing this out of the fact that my mom set me up with you. But that's kind of like the last red flag where I'm like, nope, I'm out. So we will do a date wearing a Jar Jar mask in the next couple of weeks, I promise. I will get a picture to prove it as well, and I will post it. Heinricher, I agree. That'd be some fire marquee characters. Okay, so anyways, we kind of got off topic there with the Jar Jar mask. Going back to the story, I play Magic the Gathering. Does anyone here know what Magic the Gathering is? We need to play on stream. It was actually one of my first ideas for a channel, actually, was to start a channel where I open packs on stream and play on stream, and like play and do like videos about Magic, and then have like a shop where I sell the singles, and anyone watching the stream can like get first dibs on things that I pull. I thought it'd be like a fun idea, but never got around to doing it. But anyways, a tactical card battle, sure, that's a good way of putting it. Con Warlock, yeah. Essentially, most people are familiar with Pokemon. It was Pokemon before Pokemon came out, and has a much more diverse meta. This game scratches the same itch that Magic the Gathering scratches for me. Yeah, I do love Commander. That's like the only format I played. Anyways, back to the story. I'm playing Magic the Gathering. I go to at the time I'm working at McDonald's, because if you guys don't know, if you work at McDonald's while you're in college, they'll pay for a lot of your tuition on top of whatever you're getting paid. So I was getting paid absolute crap, like nothing, because it's McDonald's in a college town. So I was like literally getting paid like minimum wage, which is nothing. But they were paying for my college essentially. And so I was working at McDonald's at the time, and I was going to this card shop, and I was going to play Magic with, you know, friends and that kind of thing. I went to this card shop, and it was a new card shop, and it was really, really nice, really cool. And like the old card shop was just really crap. I just would never go because they were just complete jerks about everything, super snobby, hated going there. And so I just didn't. I just play with my buddies wherever I wanted to. So new card shop opens, I start going. It's run by a husband and wife. Neither of them use their real names, which is interesting, but they were former military intelligence, and so they just for some reason were like, we don't like giving out our names. I was like, okay, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could go look it up, but I don't care. And so, you know, they were working, doing the store, and they were really awesome people, and I really enjoyed playing Magic with both of them. And so I would sit there at the card shop, and I'd end up playing with them all the time. And then there was a girl that would come, and she was good friends with the owner of the shop, and was like starting to get into Magic, but had started out as just a friend of the woman that owns the shop. And she's like in her, probably her 50s, maybe like late 40s, early 50s, the owner of the shop is. And then this girl that's her friend is about my age, also going to college. And we're playing like once a week. Okay, sounds good, Civ. You have a great night. Oh, dang. You're an OG player, Wep. But yeah, I'm playing like once a week with these two. And they start like, I start getting invited over to the husband and wife's house for like game nights that they do at their house. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Sometimes it's Magic, sometimes it's like a card or a board game. They have like a huge library of like 300 card and board games at their house, and so we'd be playing all kinds of different stuff. It was a blast. A whole bunch of other people would be there as well, as like a big, group of nerds essentially. And it was a lot of fun going and doing like that once a week. And then these two started inviting me over to the husband and wife's house, and like it would just be us three hanging out, and they started being like flirtatious. And I'm like, this is kind of weird, because you're married and you and I are friends, but I have never shown interest in you. And so I'm like, this is a little awkward. And so I start to like kind of phase out going as often. And then one day I do go, because one of my buddies is like, you should go with us. I'm like, sure, fine, okay, let's go. And so I go with them, and the party happens, and then like, I'm helping clean up because I am a good party guest and I like to, help out. So I'm helping clean up afterwards. Most people are gone. It's just me, the wife, the husband, and the girl. And I go to my car. She follows me out and gives me a hug goodbye, which is not weird, but then doesn't let go. And it caught me so off guard, and it's like she is like grabbing onto me like I am the last life jacket on the Titanic. And this continues with me in stunned, awkward silence for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I could not think of how to say, thanks, I'm not interested, without sounding like an absolute douche canoe. And so after 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm just going to have to say it. I don't know how to do this. And went, hey, I love our friendship, but like, I'm not interested. And then, yeah, the next week, or the next day, really, she deleted her number, switched her number, and within a week, she had moved out of the state. During that same week, the wife, I found out, is in an open relationship with her husband, and also asked if I wanted to do some stuff. And I was like, thanks, I'm good. You have 2 kids and a husband. I am 100% okay with not ever being a part of any of this. And so then I got that offer that week. And then the following week, I got a text from my manager at work at McDonald's. With her, also has 2 kids and a husband, not in an open relationship. And she texts me out of nowhere on my day off and goes, hey, I'm horny. Are you interested? So in a week and a half, I had 3 women trying to do stuff, and I was like so not down with any of it. And it was the most awkward time trying to maneuver all of that, because it was a whole bunch of people trying to cheat with people they were in relationships with me, which I had done nothing to encourage any of this. So I was like, what is happening? Yeah, 10 minutes, Con Warlock. I've never been more uncomfortable than that week and a half. I like, dude, so many situations that happened during that week. I was like, this is awful. And like, luckily my manager quit like 2 weeks later, because yeah, if she hadn't put in her 2 weeks the next day, I would have immediately reported her. Did you text back, Raise? Oh my gosh. Game is game. Nah, bro. Yeah, it was... Nope. Some men are drowning while others are dying of thirst. It's a wild phrase. Oh, gosh. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! But people really hate blue. I mean, fair enough. Also, the cards are worth more than Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Has completely devalued its entire card base. How do some people get so much game just by existing? I'm telling you right now. Of all 3 people that offered during that week and a half, there is only one that I would have said yes to. And it was if they were single. The other 3 were 100% like, nope, this is... Or sorry, the other 2 were 100% just like, nope, this is not... No. This is never... There's a reason that I've never shown interest in you. And never will. Especially the manager. The manager was just... Like... She was not a good human being. Dude, and she called me. So for those of you who don't know, I know sign language. I'm pretty rusty. I haven't used it in about 3 years. Not since basically college. I used to help out with a deaf group and help interpret and hang out with some of the deaf students there. So it's been quite a few years since I've used my sign language. But she knows this, that I know sign language. And she has called me, since that day, she has called me twice. Once about 3 months after that, while working at another job because she met a deaf person and needed me to interpret. And I'm like, dude, you are literally holding a phone in your hand. Have them just write down what they need in your notes app. And then once 6 months ago, to put that in perspective, this happened in like 2020, 2021, something like that. 5 years later, she calls me out of the blue and goes and like calls, and I'm like, no, I'm not answering. Then she texts me, hey, I need you to answer. I need you to interpret for me for this deaf person. I'm like, nope. No. I'm not responding to this text. I'm not responding to this call. Absolutely not. What? Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Hold on, we got ping over here. Let's check ping. What is this? Heinricher, did you just Google Beaver pimp and this is what came up? Where did you find this image? Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh gosh. Yeah, so that one's still like, you know, how I handled the 2 older women. I'm not embarrassed at all about it. They, you know, were doing things that I'm definitely not okay with, and you know, like if you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship. If you want to go outside the bounds of that relationship, you end that relationship. Have some respect for yourself and for the person that you're seeing. Like, absolutely not. But like the 10 minutes of me sitting there trying to figure out how to like tell her that I'm not interested, and like her clutching onto me, because like this was not just like a hug or anything. Like this was like desperate clutching to me. I'm like, I don't know what to say here. That was like one of the most embarrassing and like uncomfortable experiences of my life, and will continue to be, I think. On Warlock. No. But yeah, no, I've had multiple experiences of like women throwing themselves at me, quote unquote, hard quote unquote. But most of it is like people that I am friends with these people, and they are going through a really rough time where they are not in like a stable emotional state. And so I know it's just because, you know, I've been helping them and providing, a source of someone to talk to and that kind of thing, that they're going, oh yeah, I am attracted to this person. And I don't want a relationship based on just the fact that, trauma bonding and being like, oh yeah, this is because, you helped me. Like, that is not what I want a relationship based on. So, I've had that quite a bit. I can fix her. I have fixed her. The problem is, I fixed her. And I don't want me fixing her to be the reason that she is interested in me. You're kind of like a teddy bear. Thanks, I think. You guys have got this, right? Right? I don't know if I like the new Han skin. I'm gonna be honest. Something about it is just like uncanny valley. I don't like it. You have a very cuddleable quality to you. Okay. Speaking of, time for another embarrassing story, but this one is not about dating, as much as it tried to lead that way. All you had to say was you like guys, and she wouldn't have had to move. Oh gosh. So hearing your stories, I can say that I struck gold. Yeah, essentially, Jan. So, speaking of being a good friend and comforting people and that type of thing, that's kind of like, it's who I am as a person. I really like making friends, spending the time with those friends, and being there for people. It's been a big theme of my life, and there's a show. I don't know. I really enjoyed the show. It's called Person of Interest. It's not at all a psychological, you're thinking philosophically or anything like that, but it's about an AI essentially, and kind of mixed AI with James Bond action essentially. It was an enjoyable show. I enjoyed it, but at one point they asks the AI what do you think the meaning of life is, and talks about someone that they overheard in a bar, talking about how the influence that we have on other people and the way that they remember us is the meaning of life, is to make those connections so that way we live on past this life. And I think I definitely agree with that. Where we make connections throughout our lives to improve other people's lives, and we live on through what they remember of us. So Now we've gotten through the philosophical portion, back to the painfully awkward story. I had a buddy who was, he wasn't straight, and was going through a really rough time, and I talked him through it, and, you know, sat with him through it, and kind of, like, went through everything with him. I should have just gone for Ray. That was my bad. And the same kind of thing happened where it's, you know, you bond with the person who is helping you, and so he interpreted that as affection and tried to cuddle with me, and I was like, thanks, dude, I appreciate that you're trying to do this, but I like women and I'm not interested at all. But thank you. Oh, heck yeah, Jan. You don't need the awkward dating stories, Bobo. Trust me. Were you the little spoon? No, he would have definitely been the little spoon if it were to go forward. The answer is no, it did not go forward. like I was sitting on like a little, like, you know, one of those like larger chairs that you have that like complements like a couch or a love seat, where you have like, you know, the couch and then you have like the chair, where it's like it's basically too large for one person but not large enough for multiple people, and he came in and tried to like squeeze in with me, and I'm like, nope. I'm good, thank you, dude. Though there's a whole nother couch over there, you can go over there. Oh my gosh. I gotta fight through some of these teams. The left Twix for the right Twix. Oh my gosh. Anyways. We really need to get that critical hit immunity off. Okay, so I don't know, where do we go from here? I kind of told some of my worst ones, gave you guys some context. There's still plenty that we could go over, though. Tell some other people's stuff. Okay, we did get a couple. If any of you guys have any stories that you want to throw out there, if you want to remain anonymous, you can DM them to me, or you can throw them in chat. Up to you guys. But yeah, well, we'll read one or two of the ones that we got. Gosh, this like 100% extra protection is like crazy how much that it stops us from dying at all. This is crazy. Oh, a dodge? Oh, she has dodge mastery. No. Oh, no. Okay, we just gotta keep focusing on her. Eventually, we'll hit enough protection ups that we're gonna overwrite her with damage. Okay. Sounds good, Trey Trey. Okay. Oh yeah, Trey Trey, do you do you want to give us some context on this at all? Obviously you don't have to if you don't want to. I do this of my own willing free accord. But when you were 14 to 15, you dated a girl who was turning 18 in a few months? Were you enjoying being groomed? Like, you want to give us some context on that? Because that is a little wild. I was a freshman and she was one of the oldest juniors in her class. I guess freshman to junior isn't bad, but if you have an early birthday, it makes it a little weird. Do anything freaky though? Okay, at least okay. A little less worried than I was before. Okay. That always worries me when I see that kind of stuff. I don't know. I can kill like a lot of these. It's just I won't have much left, but like is there a point to... Oh, gosh. Is there a point to not using my teams? Because, like, I have everything on offense today. It's pretty much fresh to see your relationship, though. Okay, yeah, still weird. Still don't like it, but... At least it didn't really progress to anything worse. Con Warlock. This is where I'd put my dating stories, if I had any. See, the key to having terrible dating stories is being willing to go on dates. It's kind of a prerequisite, unfortunately. And you also have to be dating a lot, because I have dated a lot in my life. I just don't have any luck with dating whatsoever. Like, not a single dating experience I've had has been, like, a good dating experience. Oh, gosh. Is an attacker? No, the attacker's a Zeta. There it is. Okay, he's not coming back. Oh, it's territory war. He's not coming back anyways. Dang it, can't get through to frickin' Ray. Oh, we could have prevented the... Ah, okay. Hey, good to see you, my friend. I just gotta remember what you actually go by. Why is it you, specifically, Heffy, that I always forget? It's driving me nuts. Hold on. I can figure this out. Aromatics. Oh my gosh. I don't know why, for you specifically, it's so hard for me to remember. Like, I keep track of so many names in here. Like, over the last couple of, you know, last couple of months, I've made a goal to, like, start memorizing the names of a lot of the people I hang out with around here. And, like, I'm, like, up to, like, 60 people in this area that I've memorized their names. But, like, just some just slip out randomly. I do not remember offhand, Trey. There's only really one person who I remember who they're... two people. There are two people that I remember what their actual names are in the community. And one of them is because I've, like, you know, one of them is another content creator that I've worked with. The other one is a viewer who I haven't seen in quite a while, actually, but he would help donate for, like, light speed bundles and that type of thing. And so he would send it via his PayPal, and his PayPal has his name associated with it. So it's, like, the only reason that I remember is because I've seen it a couple times. Wait, your real name is Pope of Pineapples 451? Yeah, I mean, if that is your real name, Pope, then yeah, I guess I know you as well. Let's see, what's a scary one that we can take out with, like, a good... Let's go for this one with, like, a... Use SLKR against this and call it a day. Beaver, you've been so kind to me. We're going to cuddle now. Like, I wish I wasn't being serious when I say that type of stuff. Those are the times that always make me, like, the most uncomfortable. At least get him to... Okay, we got him to damage immunity. And we got full ultimate charge. Oh no. It took me a second, Cactus, but that's actually great. That was a solid reference. I will give you that one. That was great. Yeah, that extra 100% offense is scary every time it procs. Oh, agreed. 100% agreed, Aromatics. I love the snap from Darkside Ray. No, Andro, I was joking. Yes, I recall that you are Andro. I feel like a girl at the lunch table in middle school. Give me more gossip. Oh, gosh. Do I have any recent ones? I feel like every date that I've been on recently has been good. Either good or just, like, normal bad, you know, not, like, insane bad. Okay, I can think of another one off the top of my head from college days that was pretty bad. Oh yeah, and we still haven't talked about that one. Goodness gracious me. Okay. Oh, we haven't talked about that one. Okay, so first things first, I asked out my coworker at one point, right? And I ask her out, and she says yes. I haven't told every part of this story. I'm going to tell tell a part that I've never told before, because I feel a little bad bringing it up. But you know, it's worth it. You know, we'll bring it up anyways, regardless of that. She was crazy anyways, right? So we can talk about things. What are we gonna use here? Honestly, I haven't been rejected very often with just a flat no for a date. I'm gonna be honest. And I don't reject others for dates very often either. If they like want to go on a date, I'm usually like, yeah, if I have the money, sure, why not? Everyone deserves a first date. And, you know, a lot of the times surface level is not at all the truth about someone. I'm gonna try this. I don't know. Does this work? I feel like it might. So I asked this girl out, and I've only seen her with a mask because this was mid-COVID and we were working together. And so I have only ever seen this woman with a mask before, but she had very pretty eyes. And so I was like, you know what? Let's ask her out. Who do we want to... Suppose we could, like... How are we doing on turn meter? We own it. Is it 6 or is it 8? I think it might be... I think it's 8 that is required to get that to proc. Never mind. Well, that's helpful, at least. Okay. I feel like we're hitting a lot harder than we should here. Oh, that's right. We're playing with the extra 100% crit damage and an attack-a-cron. We're fine. Oh, forgot about that. Oh, you're good, Trey. You're good. Okay, there goes him. Vexatron coming in with the raid. Thank you so much, my friend. We're just sitting here telling terrible dating stories.
Hi, Hondo Onaka, welcoming you to the Beaver Dam.
So, speaking of with these stories that I am telling, if there are any stories you guys want told anonymously, throw it in my DMs in Discord. I will tell your story and we will discuss it without you ever having to reveal that it's you. Or you can throw it in chat and we'll discuss it anyways, if you don't mind not being anonymous. But yeah. So, jumping back in, for whoever did not catch Ranger Stream, he dressed up as a camouflage pretty princess. I love that. That's amazing. Okay. Sorry. Keep getting distracted by chat and stuff. I need to finish this story now. Okay, there's what I needed. Okay, let's hit full ultimate. Kill off him. She has damage immunity, so no point. Okay. Hey, Auntie, welcome. So, I asked this girl out. I've only ever seen her eyes, essentially, because she's wearing a mask. This is mid-COVID. I go and ask her on a date, and she says yes, and I'm like, sweet, you know, let's do it. And so, we plan this date. I show up to pick her up, and I've never seen her without a mask, and she has like really bad like acne scarring throughout her whole face, and it was just kind of like a wild shock off the rip, and I was like, oh, whoa. Didn't show it on my face, of course. I'm not a jerk or anything. And so I was just like, huh, okay. It was not what I was expecting, but still cute. Still was like, yeah, let's do this. We went to dinner, and we ended up talking for like a long time after. Like, we were sitting in my car, like we sat there at the restaurant for quite a while, and then we're like, okay, let's go. We get out of the car and we just keep talking. We have a lot in common. You know, we have a lot that we want to talk about, and we're really enjoying each other's company. And you know, the first day ends, and I'm like, that was a fantastic first date. Really enjoyed that. She really enjoyed it too, it seemed like, because she started hardcore flirting throughout the next week. And so I was going, and I'm not doing GAC, I'm doing Territory Wars. My GAC, we can check on it. I did it yesterday. Looks like my opponent still hasn't finished attacking. So he's dropped 2 battles so far. So she starts hardcore flirting via text. And I'm like, yeah, okay, matching her pace and like, you know, flirting back and all that kind of stuff. And I leave for a week. I am in a different state. I leave college and I'm going to go hunting with my dad. And so we're out deer hunting for mule deer with our bows, and, you know, having a good time. I get like service, you know, 4 or 5 times, and each time has multiple messages and flirting, and I'm flirting back, and like we're going back and forth and everything while I'm hunting. And then I get back into town, and she asks for another date, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sweet. So then we just plan to, you know, go and grab like, you know, a little sweet treat right before work, because both of us were working that night and we're coworkers. And so we go and we grab this sweet treat, and you know, we're walking down the road holding hands, whole shebang, and she looks at me and she goes, "You don't like me, do you?" I mean, I asked you out. What do you mean? We are not in elementary school. We are college students. What? And she's like, yeah, well, I don't like you. I'm like, dude, you are holding my hand. You invited me on this date, and you've been flirting with me for the last week. What are you talking about? I think you're the confused one here. I'm like, okay, well, I'm guess I'll take you home then. And she's like, we can keep holding hands. I'm like, no. What? So yeah, that was an interesting end to a date. You know, it's always fun dating coworkers, because then it's, you know, awkward at work every single day. At least she's awkward at work. I just pretend that nothing happened, because it's only awkward if you make it awkward. Beaver, if we both aren't married in the next 5 years, will you go on a Denny's date with me? Yes, Bobo. Absolutely. Hey, Cypher, welcome, welcome. True Owns, good to see you. Just want to make sure I'm caught up on chat. Okay. So yeah, that happened. That was a damn good time, I must say. Let's see, is there another scary one that we can... Hey, a Relic 10. Who are we going to use against a Relic 10 version? I think this could do it. I don't know. I'm so unfamiliar with the meta of Territory Wars. Like, I used to, like, keep up with how to beat teams and stuff back when I was, like, in a smaller guild, and, you know, we were going up against, like, Geonosians and, you know, General Grievous Kron and things like that. Nowadays, it's just kind of like, whatever I can rock is whatever I'm rocking. It's the best you're gonna get out of me. Do you like Territory War, Beaver? I am 360 mil GP guild, and I really like territory. We are casual, but have 2 to 3 whales and we win every war. I enjoy territory war when it's a more casual guild that likes to work together and have fun. I hate the type of guild where they're like, okay, everyone, you need to put these things on defense and that type of stuff. Like, I much preferred territory war back when I was in, like, casual guilds. Now that I'm in more competitive guilds, I don't enjoy territory war nearly as much. And I think it needs a hardcore revamping. And if it had better rewards, it would make me care about it more. But its rewards are kind of garbage, so. She got 96% with a 4-star level 13 clay. I'm getting a bit worried Street G's going to think I'm cheating. Okay, sounds good, Pope Pineapples. I will read your stories. We'll finally equal 100 speed, trying to get 500 plus speed on my SLKR. Keep going, Cypher. I believe in you, dude. It's rough going when you're starting to fix your mods. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to play this now? So we hit this. We pass that. Okay, so we want to isolate someone. Isolate means they can affect other people, but they can't be affected by other people, which should turn off uniques. So we'd want to either do Ben or we'd want to do Ray, I think. Who doesn't have the burb? You don't have the burb. You know, we might have to go through. Here, let's get Shorty out of here. The fracture is going to be like our greatest thing that we can utilize here. Go ahead and kill her. We'll hit this. She already has perfect defense. Okay, he's gone. Dodge, lovely dodge, love it. Okay, yeah, go ahead and hit it. I mean, we're keeping her controlled pretty well. Alright. I'm a little worried we're going to time out because they haven't taken their turns. Basic. There we go. Okay, she's coming out of fracture now. Yeah. Okay. We can't kill him yet, so let's go ahead and we'll pass this over to you. Hit that. Give you a fracture. Oh, well, that fracture's a little annoying, but okay. Okay. Hey, Caleb Wheeler, welcome. I got teaser. Yeah, since I've been gearing up Old Republic for Satil and Swago, I decided to play through KOTOR games. I must say they're really good. I beat KOTOR 1 and now 3 hours into KOTOR 2. Oh yeah, they're fantastic. 100% Jimmy. You don't have the bird. Dang it! Oh my gosh, I need to focus on him. We're not dealing with this. Done. Goodness gracious. I unfortunately got him at 493 right now. Are you wailing on this era, by the way, or are your plans on how to tackle this era? 5-star is as far as I'm taking everything. Yeah, I'm not willing to spend any crystals truants, people. I'm just gonna leave it. 100%. Let me check. See if... Okay. Yeah, I'm like not spending anything. I'm not even spending crystals on like the era store at all. Like I probably could, I don't know, $5, and that'll get me through quite a bit. Oh, I think that was the last I needed actually for getting a level up for her. Nope, I need 6 more. Yeah, so for $12 I could probably get pretty high. Should I do it? Should I see how high you can get with $12? I'm not willing to spend crystals because these crystals are earmarked for, what is their name? I actually don't remember who's next. Is it Cinta? Or are we getting the KX Battle Droid? I don't remember who we're getting next. It is earmarked for whatever the next marquee is. Depends on what level $12 gets you to. Level 15-ish. For free. And then from there I can start pushing into the... for free. Like, I'll be like straight to level 15 essentially, and then I can go straight into like pushing to the next level. There's a week between flick switch. Okay, one sec. I gotta shut my door. Thanks. Okay. Hey, Franklin, welcome, welcome. New Star Wars Galactic Racer trailer. I heard that Ben Quadraneros is in it. That's all I need to know. You can see my rewatch Vandor piece. I don't have Valentine's Day. Fair enough, Trey. You have a great Valentine's Day, my friend. Are you able to add me on Swigo? Yeah, I mean, if you want to... If you need, like, help getting through anything, of course. I always add people that are low level. Just because I love Andor, I want to get all the Andor raid tunes. Yeah, I'm 5-starring them with crystals for the same reason. Raid question? Shoot. Okay. We don't have a whole lot of time to keep going because I have someone coming over in about 40-50 minutes, somewhere around there. And then on top of that, I need to take Mara to go to the bathroom. So, level 18, 3-star, and got 16% tier 2, has an top 30. If lucky, or top 60, but it's only worth, I think, if you push to level 10 day 1. This is what I did. Now at level 18, I didn't spend more. Started watching Andor this week. Such a good show. Okay. Don't ooh me. It's not a girl. Okay, let's speed run 3 last stories for you guys. So first we got some from the from chat. We got one from Andro that he so graciously sent us. He sent us 2 actually. Don't have much for you, but here it goes. Also, for context for the chat, I am on the younger side. I was in 5th grade at the time. Okay. Are there people dating that early nowadays? I don't know. I feel like middle school makes sense, but 5th grade seems a little early, but maybe I'm the crazy one here and I just suck. That kind of romance where you don't really know how this stuff works, but not just the holding hands type of thing. I had the hots for this girl. I'll just call her A for this story. A was chill, definitely a tomboy, but my best friend also had the hots for her. Ooh, love triangle. So we're both fighting each other for the better part of a year. Dang, both of you want the same girl. See, in my spot, there was a girl that I liked and my best friend also liked. He asked her out first, and I was like, dang, okay, yeah, it's all you, boo. And then that night I had a dream that she had a penis, and I told him about it. And that is how I dealt with that. Anyways, it's still a running joke between us. Anyways, but my best friend also has the hots for her, so we're both fighting each other for the better here. Sue could give the better gifts or be the nicer guy until she straight up just took us both to the counselor and said to our faces, I don't like either of you. Oof. Needless to say, 5th grade was shattered and traumatized, but we're chill now. Also, hindsight is 2020 happened to be... okay. Got it. Anyways, we stopped talking to each other for like 6 years, so we ended up in the same class. Your first thing they say to me was, were you the guy who was lusting after me in 5th grade? That is a wild statement to be confronted with. I love that. Oh, that's great. Oh. Oh, we didn't actually talk about this, JC Nug. It's your birthday? Well, happy birthday, my friend.
Today is my birthday! Yay! Fire!
Anyways. We're chill now. Should I do Dragon Hard for better gear or stay on normal to be more efficient? What? Dragon Hard. What? Oh, are you talking about Conquest? Is that what we're talking about? 2x Speed Dragon. What are we talking about, Franklin? I'm confused now. Speed Dragon. I feel like you're gonna make like a D's nuts joke out of me. Okay. Side note. Birthday. I found something out today. And this shows you how single I've been in my college days, even though I was dating a lot. Today is the 7-year anniversary of me making this channel. Which means 7 years ago, while I was in college, I woke up on Valentine's Day and went, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. So great. Oh, I assume they would ask us instead. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we got another one for Andrew. I'm more so the C chair for this one. I don't know if I can say that word on stream, Andrew. but people who like to watch while other people do things. Chair. I work in an outdoor scouting summer camp when I was 14. I was pretty lax in the rules. We get to our white elephant party, and I get this girl, so I asked one of my buddies, I don't know what to get a girl. He says, she's my girlfriend. Chill, I got you. She likes art stuff. And I say pretty loudly, I have an issue with talking quietly. She's your girlfriend? Nice! And thus, oh, 1, 3, or more grouping roles established in the camp. Because I work at the same station as you, I pretty much third wheeled them the entire way through. So they can't sneak off and do stuff. People just say my coworker did not like me much after that. You accidentally, because you spoke too loud, caused your buddies to not be able to actually do anything with his girlfriend for an entire summer. That is fantastic. Oh my god. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing, Andrew. That was great. Oh, Dalton, welcome, welcome. Con Warlock, thanks for getting those General Kenobis for Dalton. Okay, so... Oh, are you talking about Raid Shadow Legends, Franklin? Oh my gosh. Hold up. You're talking... I thought you were talking about the raid in this game. Are you talking about Raid Shadow Legends? Dude, I haven't played it since they dropped me for the sponsorship. I am the wrong person to ask. I would ask Arnold or ask... like, I don't know. You probably can't get in contact with a lot of the top creators with Raid Shadow Legends because they get pretty big, but try Arnold. Arnold would probably know some stuff. I'd say Nooch, but Nooch kind of plays to play. He doesn't really know much about the game from what I understand, but maybe that's changed since I last checked in on him and his raid stuff. Yeah, is he pretty knowledgeable about it nowadays? I know he kind of just went into it blind and didn't really do much research or anything. Okay, so we got rid of Relic 10. I'm trying my best to kill all of the, like, top versions since I have so many teams lying around. I don't love going up against this with the Attacker-Cron with Leia. Or not Attacker-Cron, the, whatever this is, the Healer-Cron with Leia. I just feel like I just don't get enough damage out there. Is there a scary Quadme I can throw like a Bane against? Hold on. I think this one is scarier up here. It's only Relic 7 though versus the Relic 9s. I think I'd rather go for a Relic 9 one. Yeah, I'll go for a Relic 9 one. We'll just use our Sith Eternal. I don't care. I'm probably not going to come back to Territory War after I do this for the day. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and use these two. Can I also drop one of my stories? Yeah, absolutely, Jan. If you want to DM it to me or you can throw it in chat, whatever you want to do. Okay, so time for like kind of the craziest story that I have, but I feel like I've mentioned it quite a few times. I don't know. Maybe this is a new one for a lot of you guys. Could be crazy here. But I don't know. There's like 50 of you here. I'm sure there's at least like 30 of you who haven't heard this story. So we'll go into it real quick, give you guys a little bit of fun times. I dated this girl in college. She and I kind of like hit it off immediately. Like it was really, really solid just from the start. just immediately hit it off. Had a great first date, continued to date, you know, started dating, and, you know, actually became my girlfriend. Good times, good times. We dated for like 6 months. I'm like at the point where I'm like considering marrying this woman. And we I decided to go home for a couple months because, like, you know, I just want to go home and work for a bit, build up some money, and then come back to college. And so, like, I'm going on, like, you know, the summer off, and I'm, like, you know, taking a break from school for a second, and then I'll come back in, like, 2-3 months, you know. So not much time away at all. But I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go back home to Alaska for a little bit, see some family, work a bit, and then I'll be back. And so, like, right before I head back to Alaska, we set up a double date weekend, where we do a road trip. We go to, like, an amusement park together. We hang out this entire weekend. It is an absolute blast with this other couple who we both work with. And I actually, funny enough, I went on the date with the girl that I was dating at the time, and then the next day I went on a date with this other girl, and then I was like, oh, both dates went really well. I'd be down to go on more dates with either one of them. And then one of my coworkers and I was talking, and he was like, hey, I really like so-and-so. And I was like, great, I'll set you guys up. And, like, set them up together, and then I dated the other girl. So it worked out really well. And so, you know, we go on this double date weekend together, and, you know, not awkward at all. Have a blast. One of the best weekends I've had in a long time. I go back to Alaska afterwards. And we're, like, you know, calling every week. You know, we're reading a book together and talking about it, discussing it, and that kind of thing. And then, you know, just don't get anything from her for like a week. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. I mean, she's probably just busy, you know. And then I get a text from the other girl from the double date weekend. So not my girlfriend, the other girl. And she, sorry, not a text, a call. I get a call from her. I answer the phone, and I'm like, hey, why are you calling me? We've, like, never talked on the phone. What? Why? What's up? She's like, have you seen Facebook? And I'm like, no, who goes on Facebook? And she's like, go check Facebook. I'm like, okay. And so I go check Facebook, and it turns out on Facebook, it was just announced that day, my girlfriend in a relationship with her boyfriend. And I'm like, what is this? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, aren't you guys dating? And she's like, yeah, in fact, we just had, like, a huge conversation last night about where we are and where we see this going. And then today this showed up on my Facebook. I was like, okay. Yeah, so that happened. The girl then left town. The other girl left town and just left college. Was like, nope, I'm done. This is, nope. And then I get back, and I'm still co-workers with them because, you know, I need a job while I'm in college. And so they're at this point, you know, I was gone 2 to 3 months. This happened about 6 weeks in to me being gone. And by the time I get back, they are already engaged. And they invite me to be a groomsman in their wedding. I'm like, no, absolutely not. What? Why? What? And they would, even after they got married, they would invite me over for dinner all the time. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. What are you guys smoking? Like, I get that I have the whole idea of it's only awkward if you make it awkward. Like, I'm not going to make it awkward at work. I'm going to just work my shift and pretend like nothing happened between us. Because, you know, that's what we're going to do. That does not mean that we're friends. That does not mean that what you guys did was okay. And you guys know that it wasn't okay. Absolutely not. Thanks, Boogie, but it's not my birthday necessarily. It's the channel's birthday. I made this channel 7 years ago today. Sounds good, Pope. You have a great day, my friend. I'm betting weed is what they were smoking. Like, dude. Mara, hey. Don't push. Like, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And, yeah, they're very unhappily married. I mean, happily married now. That's exactly what I was hoping for out of that. Sick. Happy Beef Day. Thanks, Duff Cake. Thanks. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, after this battle, I really gotta get going. That was basically my crowning moment of terrible dating stories. I probably have a couple that I've told you guys previously that I don't remember off the top of my head. And so I'm sure we could go through more, but that is just what I have on the top of my head and on the docket. You guys got a new one this time that we've never talked about on the channel before. We got ourselves, you know, some reoccurring ones, some reminiscing, if you will. So, you know, we got some fun things for everyone. 7 years of the Beaver Dam is still no easy meat that we can buy. Oh my gosh, what a wild pull. Dude. I mean, to be fair, we've only actually been streaming and, like, playing Galaxy of Heroes for... I mean, I've been playing for Galaxy of Heroes longer than I've streamed, but we've only actually, like, had the channel as, like, an actual channel for... I think it was October. So, 2 years and 3-4 months or something like that. Not coming up on 3 years, right? We're coming up on 3 years in October. I think that's right. There we go. Or not. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, is there any other ones? Yeah, there's no recent ones that I've really done that have been bad dates. There was one girl that I asked out that, like, she was, like, super into things. Like, we were talking and having a good time when we'd interact with each other because we'd see each other, like, every day at work. She worked for a different company, but, you know, associated. And so I'd see her all the time at work. And so we were talking, flirting, talking about the stuff that we were doing and everything like that. And then I asked her out. And then, like, 3 days later, just instantly, like, no emotion, always pissed when she saw me, like a light switch flipped off, and all of a sudden we were no longer friends. Like I had just killed her dog or something. Like, absolutely wild switch. Had no idea what was going on. I was like, what happened? And, like, still would, like, say hi when I'd see her at work and everything. But, like, she canceled the date, just would not talk at all. And, like, super aggressive after that. And then flash forward like 2 months later, and I found out that she had started ADHD medication and had gotten super aggressive and like been struggling a ton with just being angry all the time. And I'm like, aha, I had that same thing when I was a kid, and it was the reason that I stopped taking my meds and started just dealing with my ADHD with just regular coping skills. So that was an interesting time, but not necessarily a dating story. But anyways, that's about all I got for you guys for today. We'll just throw this on auto and call it a day. Hopefully that this stream has been at least mildly entertaining to you. You know, that you've been able to sit here and giggle at my own discomfort, embarrassment, and rough times with love. And hopefully it's made you feel a little bit better about your own love life. That's my hope, at least to some degree. And yeah, well, hopefully there'll be no more stories like this. Hopefully this is like, you know, we're having this happen right now, and then I'm going to find my wife tomorrow. That's the hope, you know, that we find someone good tomorrow, and it's not just going to be stories like this. Because as much as I like having stories to tell, I'd also love to find love, you know. I'm still waiting for that nat 20 on love. You know, I had enough nat 1s. I'm ready for the nat 20. Dropped your friends one. We should have more story times with Beaver. I don't know if I have enough interesting stories for you guys to have like a whole bunch of different story times, but like I do enjoy telling stories when I have them. He's chill with it, but he had a point when he was going out with a few girls and he ended up going to the same place a few times in a row. I worked there, I saw him there a few times with different girls, and I like was very confused. He didn't tell me about this. I pointed out to him quietly. He was so awkward. Kind of ruined it with that one, but like, oh, she was not good looking. So it's fine. Oof. Oof. So you ruined his date, but like you brought in multiple chicks. Oh my gosh. Evil advice for them since they they get married after they date you. Yeah, exactly. Or you know, I find other people's wives that are currently married to them, and for some reason they fall in love with me, and I'm not down for that at all. Oh gosh. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for giving a damn. And I hope each and every one of you enjoys whatever company that you have today. Enjoyed yourself here. And if you don't have a love today, I hope you guys find love in the next year. You know, we'll return and, you know, talk about it next year. Hopefully I will have some great dating stories and that type of thing, and I can be all lovey-dovey, or maybe I'll have a new list of dating stories that we can talk about. We shall see. So chat picks your next Tinder date coming soon. I would be down to do a members only stream where it is just you guys swiping on people on Tinder. I think that would be hilarious. I would be down for that. Yes, Beaver ain't no homewrecker. Exactly. Yeah, sorry, son of Boxy, but you've got lots of stories to hear if you want to restart the stream. There is tons there. Yes, we will be having a game night later, Con Warlock. I will be putting out a message about it, and I will see you very soon. But yes, we'll probably do a members only stream where you guys can swipe on girls for me and, you know, see what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for giving a damn. Is there anyone that we can raid? I know it's like a little bit. Oh no, it's actually not that late for Swigo. We're pretty early today. I forgot that today's a day that you can still play Grand Arena. So we actually probably have quite a few people that we could raid. So let's raid someone. Same category. Okay, on Twitch, we will raid Swampgrass.
Like, the excessive gun violence was just not necessary.
On YouTube, who are we gonna raid?
Not necessary.
Okay, looks like the only person live right now, which is surprising, is yeah, I guess Scribe got wasted last night. Calvin would have streamed last night. Then Nooch streamed early this morning with his Valentines stream. Vex finished his stream and sent him over to us. The only person still around is going to be Troopers who are raiding, and then Arnold if he gets to it, which I doubt he will today. So interesting. Okay. Well, we'll send you guys over to Troopers. Caracol showing up at the end of stream and not saying anything. Are you saying that you've been here the whole time and you've been hiding from me? How dare you, Caracol? Love you, though. Anyways. Bye, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day.